Hello, it's Scott Manley here. Today, this is something called Heat Signature. I am Seder Fiasco, and I have just been flung out into space. But I am not without solutions. I am not without ways of fixing things. I have my little boarding pod, which picked my body up as it was floating through the vacuum of space. And with that, I shall return to the scene of the crime, because this game is very much about committing heists. I'm not going to say crimes, but yes, perhaps being a little Robin Hood, stealing from the rich to give to the poor, because I'm poor. So yeah, look, this is the tutorial. It tells me to go through some various bits and pieces. You can take stuff that you've got with you, so I'm just grabbing the key. I'm grabbing Fiasco's Facebreaker, a freakishly fast, light, quiet, it's basically a weapon. And yep, see, set that up, equip it, and now I need to get close to this dude here without them seeing me so that I can break their face. Just like that. Wow, that's quite impressive. The tutorial now tells me to take this gun. Now the gun isn't going to be much good because I can't get through this door, but what I can do is I can use the gun to attract the dude on the other side of the guard with the who's got the key. And once he gets close enough, it's face-breaking time. Now there's only one heat signature left on the ship, and that is the captain. The captain is in the captain's chair. No more though. Yes, knocked them through and is conveniently sitting against that sheet of glass. You know what? Oh, wait a second. Yeah, you can blow out the glass walls and anyone within that room gets flung off into space. It's kind of a cool trick. Breaker, I've got the siege ship. I've laid in a course the ship can crash the defenses, but you gotta reprogram them from the inside when they're down. I'm gonna have to throw myself into space now and meet me in the bar if I don't die. Surely the words of a hero or a heroine, it would appear in this case. So yes, Heat Signature very much does this full-scale universe thing. You have the spaceships, you have the tiny people walking out inside the spaceships, and you can just stroll the mouse wheel out all the way to a full-sized cluster of stars. They call it a galaxy, but I'm an astronomer, so I'm going to call it a cluster of stars, because it's clearly not big enough to be a galaxy. So yeah, the game revolves around making these little heists, these attacks on spaceships, taking them apart from the inside, stealing stuff, rescuing people, assassinating people, and essentially fighting a kind of subversive campaign to regain control of your little corner of the galaxy. Yes, it's basically telling you that there's a space station that you're returning to, you're calling this home, and now you have the skills, you have the talent, and you also have someone on the inside who's going to fix the defenses. But right now you are floating through space, so you need to learn to manually control your little breacher pod, right? So here she comes, or here it comes. I'm just going to use the mouse control, of course, here. Just basically left click to accelerate, right click to brake, and gently put yourself within arm's reach of your hero as they fall through space. Unfettered by things like Newton's laws of action and reaction. With nothing to react against this, they have nothing to change their velocity. And so they will fly right past all these locations unless they are picked up by a friendly spaceship. So I'll be clear, that was the tutorial, but you can rerun the tutorial at any time, and I've already unlocked or liberated a few stars. But yeah, get back and I can talk to Breaker. Look at him down there. Hey, you're alive! I get that more than you'd think. Hey, we have a station. I have a station. Almost hard to believe that people have shot you, Seder. Yeah, it's 10 times now. And somehow it's never enough. So it's basically telling that there's 4 factions fighting over the system, whereas I, as a hero, the protagonist up till this point, is deciding that it is time to retire and let my proteges do all the things that I used to do. So yeah, basically the idea is that she's going to sit in the corner, and now there's 4 characters to will have various abilities. They start out with various different items, and you kind of select them. They all have different missions that they want to do that will be their personal awesome thing. But yeah, they go here, and then they can choose a mission, such as let's go and assassinate somebody. Run over to the drop pod and then fly out into deep space, and now I actually get to fly this boarding pod. Did I call it a drop pod? It is a boarding pod. As far as I know, there are no planetary surface missions on this at this time, so there is nothing to drop onto, but there is everything else to board and breach and dock. So this game is designed by Tom Francis, who's previously been known for Gunpoint, which is a fantastic kind of, 2D stealth platform. Well, it's not really platform, but it involves like rewiring the levels to, trick guys and kill them. It was pretty entertaining. I liked it. So this is kind of a more sci-fi spaceship 2D version of everything. You can like literally blow up rooms, you can knock holes in the side of the ship with the right hardware, or you can just sneak in and assassinate people with a wrench here. So this is what I'm going to do. Run up, whack that dude on the head. He is now unconscious but still alive, although I've got to point out, hitting people with a wrench in real life is more likely to end up killing them rather than knock them unconscious. Like, to actually knock somebody out, very likely would kill them, right? Let's face it, like, there's a fine line between hitting someone in the head and knocking them unconscious, and hitting them in the head and killing them. The movies make it seem far too easy, and honestly games do that because, it's for gameplay reasons. So that's me. I have secured the ship, I've killed everyone, sorry, I have stunned everyone, knocked everyone out, so I can just literally fly the spaceship back. And that's nice, that's easy mode. You just sit in the pilot's seat, you press F, and then it will send you back home with the spoils of war. Once there, I can drop off the... was that a rescue? Yeah, person I rescued. It's a shame they're unconscious. Don't know, it would be kind of... it'd be nice to have them running around with me. There's a practice terminal that lets you practice the levels and stuff, lets you mess around, learn the mechanics. But yeah, it's just more about playing the game. Now, another interesting thing about the way this works, as well as the, rewiring, the destructive levels and all that, the mechanics share a lot in common with Superhot in that you're really encouraged to pause the game continuously to set up very fast combos with large numbers of targets. Now obviously this ship has a skeleton crew, and that's not really what I'm dealing with here. I'm just running up, pausing the game, and then using my wrench to run in and knock them down. Now that character I had to assassinate, you'll notice, but he is not dead just yet. But I can pick up the body and of course drop it next to, say, a nice scenic window. And once I've got myself a gun, aim the gun very carefully, bang, off out into space. Now I could just pause the game and, choke them to death or whatever, but I kind of like the idea of popping out the bodies into the void and letting them expire in the middle of space. Once again, I have captured the ship, and I shall bring it home. Okay, so now you've seen the basics, let's do something a little more complex. We're going to rescue again. Once again, we have to find the breaching pod, lock it to the correct location. There are 3 targets in there. The first thing I do is wait for one to run out, but one of these guys just teleports over using one of these teleporter things. There are teleporters which let you basically exchange places with people, or you can just teleport through walls, assuming that the doors are available. Some of the bad guys will use these features when they hear you. They will glitch right next to you, which can be quite complicated. But I'm just using a quiet shotgun because apparently in this universe somebody has managed to make a shotgun which is not incredibly loud. Okay, 2 targets again. One gun. This guy teleports, so I shoot him with the other gun. Brilliant. These are of course concussive guns. They're knocking them down but not killing them. You can have regular guns which will do real damage. There are certain types of items that enemies can have which will make them bulletproof, so you'll need like armor-piercing ammunition. Okay, so here's an issue, right? They have zoomed right next to me, so I could use a swapper item to switch position with these guys. Okay, no, there we go. That ought to confuse the target long enough for me to get a shot off. Uh-oh, and the alarm is triggered. So I took a little too long. The alarm is triggered, and now the pilot is basically trying to take me to a hostile base. They're trying to head home, and if I get stuck on the spaceship when the time runs out, then I will be captured and the character is dead. Now I can kill the captain, or I can just make a run for the pod. See ya, suckers! Off I go with my prisoner. Now there are also a few set pieces, including this one where I play somebody called Dan Hardcastle who starts out in deep space, floating around, and I have to figure out how to get back into a spaceship. So I'm using my shotgun to propel myself through space to try and get close to this spaceship. I'm not sure. I know whose idea this was. So yeah, gotta try and get into that door there. No. It's a good thing the shotgun has lots of ammunition, because I'm certainly running out of time here. Yes! Excellent! In that door. Now I need to kill everything quickly. Incidentally, if you get stunned by the crew, they will carry you next to the airlock and throw you out the airlock. So even if you're thrown out the airlock, there's still opportunities to sometimes get back on board the ship in question. Okay, so we've got some guns, we've got some keys. Now I need to figure out where I'm putting everyone. I have a glitch trap. I should probably use that sometime. But there's a lot of items that I haven't quite learned to use here. That looks like sticks of dynamite in here. It does not strike me as something that you want to be sticking in the hold of a spacecraft like that. Okay. So it hasn't seen me. Yeah, just shoot him in the butt. And there's two of these guys. So wait a second. We got a shotgun and then the armor. Oh crap. Okay. So that guy has armor. The shotgun is not injuring him, but the armor-piercing ammunition does. So you gotta make sure you use the right weapon for the right target in this ship. Okay, I'm gonna check, see what's in the cargo hold here. We have a rechargeable long-range sidewinder, which is a teleporter basically. It's space language for teleporters. Yeah. Okay, I mean, Sidewinder is clearly a brand name in the future. Yeah. Intruder, but doesn't matter because I've killed your pilot. You ain't going anywhere. You ain't going anywhere. Oh, no. Armor piercing. Armor piercing! Or, oh, shoot. Regular gun, what could I do? I could just teleport. Yeah, I'm gonna teleport around the other side. Like, there, somewhere. Nope. Wrong button. What's going on? What's going on? Oh yeah, left button, that's what it is. So I teleport around here and that gives my weapon enough time to reload so I can apply them. So yeah, shotgun and armor-piercing bullet. Brilliant! And now there's two more of these guys. Again, shotgun and armor-piercing. Objective killed. Return to the station. Marvelous. So, you know, I could just blow a hole in the ship, of course, and sneak out that way, or I could just head home. It's really up to me, to be honest. I like running around and killing everyone because I'm a psychopath, obviously. So we've got one intruder here. Yeah, these intruders are just not able to deal with my firepower because they've all got wrenches. Now that I've managed to get inside the ship, that was the hardest part. Yeah, ship secured. I think it's this way. Oh, come on! Come on! Get through there. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Get into the pilot seat and take control. Now, there isn't really much in the way of space combat, as far as I can tell. I mean, I obviously haven't played the entire game, and maybe we do unlock some awesome, pew-pew, but it is possible for, while you can't really initiate space combat, you can be dumb and kinda get in the wrong place and accidentally be on the receiving end. And then it'll suddenly throw up a bunch of buttons to push. Hold A, hold D, hold the left mouse button, don't push this. And you can get your spaceship back under control, but then you have a limited amount of fuel with which to return home. Of course, that's not exactly a great challenge, but I tell you what, it can be really quite exciting when you're trying to figure out which key combo to hold down to keep your spacecraft alive in the few seconds as it's spinning off into the void and the hostile ship is, of course, zipping away with the cargo that you were supposed to be picking up. Now, in some cases, the mission timer actually starts before you get to the spacecraft, so it can really make or break a mission. But in this case, it was just a simple capture mission there, and yeah, it really was a simple capture mission. I think it was easy level. So in this case, this dude, all he has is wrenches and a long blade. But there's only one real target to hit, so I just needed to get into the right place at the right time and hit them with the wrench, rather than say shoot them with the gun. That would have been unfortunate. You would fail the mission instantly. There's nothing else on this ship worth stealing. In some of the ships you certainly have pods, cargo bays, which can contain interesting devices that you might find useful. In this case, no, it's just pick the dude up and head home. And that capture of that individual was enough to destabilize the cluster a little more and mean that I can make some strategic gains. Now you get a bunch of different planets to pick from. In this case I picked one which would give me some extra money. Now I have 100 extra something. It's renamed to Quigley Bastion after, of course, the character that I was using at the time. I'm also told that I've unlocked a new type of client. The Enigma wants no witnesses left, which can be interesting. So certain missions will have the Enigma attached, certain others will have a requirement that it should be bloodless. I haven't seen a bloodless Enigma, but it might entirely be required. And when, of course, you unlock one of these stations, then you get a defector mission. Now, the defector mission basically puts you in there with a character that is not of your design, not of your choosing, with a certain loadout, and you, of course, have to complete the mission. In this case, I have a pair of armor-piercing long blades. It turned out this was surprisingly easy. Now, while the guards would trigger the alert if the bodies were seen, I just kept on picking up the bodies, shifting them away, and eventually, yeah, another guard would walk down the hall saying, "Oh, I wonder where my friend has gone. Where could they possibly be? They owe me $5. Grab that, stick it there, ended up with a giant pile of bodies there. So I've certainly enjoyed the few hours or so that I've played from this game. It's on Steam, just launched. There's like a 10% discount. There is also like the in-development version. I think it went through some sort of early access process. I was not really aware of this game until today, so you know, I've thoroughly enjoyed what I've played. I can see that there's probably a lot of weird combos and stuff that can happen. It's a bit like Dusker, but with more blades and, you know, less command lines, I guess. And more heists, more characters, and more stories. You know, it's an interesting combo, nevertheless. But yeah, if you like, you know, spaceships and stealth and two-dimensional things with lots of combos and bullet time and stuff, this might be the perfect game you're looking for. If you like blowing people out through windows, defenestrating in the most literal sense of the word, this may be the game for you. The game is Heat Signature, and I am Scott Manley. Fly safe.